Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Now, today we are here to talk a bit about Aion 2 because this weekend, so we're now on the 29th of June 2025. Today is Sunday, so this is the second day of the FGT test, which is the focus group test for Aion 2. So those of you that don't know, NCSoft are holding this weekend test for very few, I think it's like 100, maybe 150 chosen players, but you have to be living in Korea. I don't know how the process was done because obviously I'm not in Korea, I'm not Korean, but you had to physically go to the NCSoft building. Now they did this same thing for Throne and Liberty before it came out in Korea. They did a focus group test in person in the building as well. So the problem we've had with this is obviously it's heavily under NDA, so we don't get to, see stuff. But there was a quite a decently large content creator, Korean content creator, who was actually allowed to do a video on it. Obviously not showcasing any of the stuff that he saw, but he was allowed to talk about it. So there's basically a visual NDA and not a verbal NDA. So he sat down and discussed it. Now, what I will do is I will put his video in the description box down below. He's speaking in Korean, but it does have the AI auto-dubbed into English. So obviously bear in mind the translation may not be, 100% spot on, but it gives us a rough idea. And then, so somebody on Reddit here has basically compiled it down and written it. So they've done a summary of the key points. So we're going to obviously look at this. So they're saying that the overall impressions and the monetization, because apparently they were actually able to see, monetization, which to me, I'm very surprised that they even showcased any monetization. But nevertheless, he says that Aion 2 is a cross-platform title for mobile and PC, which we already know. Monetization will primarily be through cosmetic items like outfits and wing skins. No pay-to-win mechanics, apparently. The previous news about 2 trillion in sales was actually being referred to the entire Aion IP, not just Aion 2 alone, because I myself was thinking, holy crap, they're expecting Aion 2 to sell, to make 2 trillion in sales. Are they, that's insane, right? But so fair enough. They're talking about the whole Aion IP. So that makes more sense. There's going to be a diamond shop for convenience items like instant revives and dungeon entry recharges. Now, I'm a little bit like, so that means you're going to be locked out of doing dungeons then? Because if you need entry recharges, and then you're going to have to buy this. So I'm a little bit confused. Now, take this in mind, guys. I'm going to say this, and I'll say this again multiple times. Obviously, all of these quote-unquote leaks that we're getting, information, we can't trust a lot of it because obviously it's on the internet and people could just be saying whatever. But this one is probably the most reliable source because he is a very big, content creator in Korea. So, I mean, he's the one that I will believe the most, if anything. But again, as always, I'll take it with a pinch of salt, and I'll wait until NCSoft themselves give us more concrete, information, and of course when I can see it and play it myself. But anyway, so the developers, NCSoft, are trying to minimize gacha mechanics. So does that mean there's going to be gacha in the game then, if they're trying to minimize it? Character and customization. So the character customization has been described as literally top tier. The outfit quality though, even in the cash shop, has been considered quite bad, quite poor. So that's interesting. So the character customization is like S tier, but then the outfits, the skins, even the store-bought ones are considered to not be S tier. That's very, very strange. Wings can be crafted in-game and they provide a collection bonus. So it's saying crafted, but then you can buy wing skins. So I wonder, okay, if you're only buying wing skins and then you have to craft them in game, that's good. Mounts are going to be available. Some are going to be purchasable with premium currency, which that's fine. Now, gameplay and UI. The UI is similar. See, they're saying the UI is similar to mobile game UIs, which is a little bit concerning. But then he goes on to say, particularly Throne and Liberty. So Throne and Liberty's UI to me isn't bad. A lot of people do call it like a mobile UI, but whatever, it's not terrible. So as long as the UI isn't a proper mobile UI, I'll be fine with a similar to TL. Players will have 8 skill slots plus combo skills and an evasion skill. Interesting. So again, this is the sort of general consensus so far from these, as I say, quote unquote leaks or information, that people are labeling this as an action combat. I don't believe it's action combat at all, because if you can see in the footage that I've obviously been showing you, there's no way this is a proper action combat game. It sounds to me like there's going to be an action camera. It basically sounds like it's going to be Throne of Liberty combat, to put it bluntly, but just hopefully improved and a lot better. Now, your skills are upgraded using points to unlock additional effects. The game features auto pathing for questing, but the combat is manual, so there's no autoplay, but there's auto pathing. Now, I know that's going to put some players off, but I mean, BDO, as an example, is a proper action combat game on their PC client, and it also has auto pathing. I don't really care about auto pathing as long as the combat is manual, and they say it is. So combat has some degree of targeting with two camera modes, action mode and classic mode. Again, literally the same as Throne and Liberty, the same as Ashes of Creation. There's an action camera and a classic mode. Now, this begs, to bring the question, everyone is going to play with classic mode because it's just going to be superior. The game seems to cater to both PvE. There's a lot of dungeons. They're saying like over 200, so we'll have to wait and see. And it does have PvP. There's a RVR, race v race PvP, and an Abyss PvP. Now, parties are 4-player, okay, and role distinction, healer, tank will be important, so Holy Trinity basically. Gear and progression. Gear drops from dungeons and field mobs. It is not directly sold. Oh, interesting. So is it not going to be like Throne Liberty then, when you can just buy loads of stuff on the auction house? Gear becomes untradeable upon equipping it, and it can gain random special options. Well, I mean, yeah, that's nothing new. Once the gear's been bound to you, you can never sell it in any MMO. A talent system uses a grid where players can spend points to unlock stats. A grid. That's sounding like Diablo and Path of Exile sort of. Do you know what I mean? That gives me that sort of vibe. All right, technical and other. The focus group setup PCs were basically using 5070 graphics cards. Interesting. But the developers claim that it's been optimized for 2070 cards at max settings. Okay, so they're saying that you can run it at the best settings on a 2070. Graphics and hit effects were considered decent. One-on-one trading is available, okay. Dungeons are reportedly over 200. Flying is possible everywhere. Okay, interesting. I did hear from someone else as well that apparently you can just fly away at any time. So during a PvP fight, PvE, you can just fly away. So that's going to irritate some people and possibly irritate myself. But we'll have to wait and see. Now, the game feels like a blend of Throne and Liberty, Blade and Soul, and classic Aion. That's an interesting combination, but okay. And then the final thoughts of the creator basically said, the focus group test experience was very positive. He gives the game a preliminary score of 3.5 out of 5 stars. If the monetization remains reasonable, he believes that many players will be happy, and many players will, you know, test the game and want to play the game. So there you have it, guys. Now, like I say, I'm going to still take this with a pinch of salt for now, but overall it's just sounding like very close to Throne of Liberty. It sounded like a better Throne of Liberty. That's the sort of vibe I'm getting, with a shit ton of PvE to do. There sounds like there's going to be quite a lot of PvP still to do as well. I'm interested in the RVR PvP, so that's obviously race versus race. So I don't know if there's going to be guild versus guild. It sounds like the main focus will be, you know, the races battling it out, which to me is interesting. It gives more fun. You can be out and about as a solo and still get stuck in. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. If there's any more information that drops, any more like concrete stuff, of course, as soon as NCSoft release some real official information, I'll have it on the channel. So yeah, stay tuned, guys. Leave me a comment down below. What are your thoughts? Is this making you more excited for Aion 2 or the opposite? But yeah, have a beautiful day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you very, very soon. Take care. Peace.